So let's continue with Janu Shirshasana C. And yeah, let's look at it. We can give some more explanations a little bit later. But again, this is we talked about what the alignment and the action and the anatomy of the knee is. And so we want to understand that's the way we need to work here. We don't want to start twisting the knee. We understand if you twist the knee this way, it's actually going to twist the knee joint and start to tear on the ligaments, the meniscus, the tendons. And if we continue to do that, eventually it may break. It may not happen straight away. It may take a few months, few weeks. It could happen. So be careful. Be careful. So remember, the movement of the leg is back, and then we can take it down this way. So very simple. Leg relax, bring it back, heel back as far as you can, place the toes on the floor. If you want to lift the sitting bone, you can to lean over, which maybe at the beginning is a good idea. Place the toes on the floor, reach the knee away from you, and then bring it down. So the movement now is in the hip, not in the knee itself. Okay? So the leg would bend. You would then turn, place the foot on the floor, and you can see there's no twisting in the knee at all. There's no twisting I'm placing the foot down, but there's been no twisting here. Then I'm reaching out, and the movement is coming from the hip. And so my flexibility relies on what my flexibility in the ankle is, and not on any twisting of the knee. Of course, then forward, lift, and as in A and B, we lift and very strongly work to do Baddha B as you bring the head down. Okay. And if we look at this posture and see an extension of it, if we just do this, we have half lotus. Okay. So it's simple. Somebody once asked a question, why are we doing Janu Shirshasana? I mean, Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. Why are we doing it before we're doing Janu Shirshasana? Because Janu Shirshasana seems so much easier. But in actual fact, if you're someone who has loose knees and loose ankles, Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana is not a difficult posture. So for an Indian who's been sitting on the floor, there's no difficulty in doing these half lotuses. So it's not that difficult. So in actual fact, Janu Shirshasana is a more intense and more difficult forward bend than Ardha Baddha. So Ardha Baddha, we're lifting and going down. But Janu Shirshasana, we're lifting up much more and coming more into the Baddha B position. So it's much more deeper forward bend than Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. So wrong observation, thinking of the knee being more difficult rather than the position of the spine and the sequence of the Ashtanga practice. So it's very, very beautiful, the Ashtanga practice. Okay, so I'm going to ask Helen to come in. The leg bends with the exhalation, foot on the floor, and then she reaches the knee down. So you can see the movement is going down and moving from, again, the middle dantian through the groin out to the knee. So that's what we're looking for. Reaching forward, holding, again, I like to hold the side of the feet, shoulder blades back, lengthening, getting this connection, this resetting the body, this is there to reset the body, to connect the body, to really lift, get everything connected. So that when we exhale and bring the dantian in and fold forward, we come into Janu Shirshasana. 5 breaths here. Again, foot down, again, the knee reaching down, head going down. Each breath reaching the head, which is again going to connect to the foundation. Foundation connecting will react and send chi along the spine. One works with the other. Another inhale, lengthening up, eyes extending. Exhale, stay. And then dash of the feet, come back. Lift up. And we go back. Chattering. And then we'll just do one side on this one. We've explained enough. So again, just to show, I'm going to do the same side again. This position, bring this down, leg down. And then you can see, once she does that, releases the foot, how easy it is to come into lotus. So it's just half lotus, but the foot is now, toes are on the floor. Same position as Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana. but now the toes are here. Simple. Thank you very much. Janu Shirshasana C. I need 2 blocks to do this. So one way, if somebody's having difficulty, they would sit on a block and bend the leg, much more space, take the foot. But if you're sitting on a block, you don't want to take the knee all the way to the floor, you'd have a block, place the knee on. So you'd have that alignment, same height. Maybe the block could be a little bit lower. And you could actually go down to the floor. But at least now you're having a bit more space to go forward. So as I'm doing that, I'm looking at the block and saying, do I need it under that knee or not? And you can, again, depend on what you're doing, whether you need a block on the floor or not. And talking about blocks, I forgot to mention this in Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana, so I'll do it now. In Ardha Baddha Padma Paschimottanasana, if the knee is in the air, I very much emphasize that you put a block, a blanket, something to the height you need on the floor to support the block, support the body. If the leg is in the air and you create oomph to go down, you're going to put a lot of pressure on the knee joint, meniscus, and this is where the problems occur. You don't have any foundation. You're going to press. This is in the air, there's no foundation. It's just going to push down and strain the knee. Once you put a block there, now you have foundation, you can lift. It doesn't have to be a block this size, smaller, whatever height you need. So for any position, knee in the air, put something underneath. Even in lotus, some people sit in lotus, knees in the air, put a blanket, put something underneath so you can create a foundation. And this foundation is going to allow you now to create the chi, the flow of prana through the body, and allowing the spine to lengthen and keep the natural position of the body. Knee in the air and you're pushing in, it's wobbly. So put there, stability of prana. Again, it doesn't have to be that big. That's too big for this, but just a little bit. We'll try to get it down. Thank you.